The girl wasn't screaming anymore. Her tiny frame had been trembling minutes earlier, rocking in a silent storm of panic on the cold marble floor. But now, she was still, breathing softly, watching a single soap bubble drift above her face like a floating moon. No one understood how it happened. Not the security guard, not the executives who had been whispering behavioral episode and dangerous meltdown, not the assistants who had already called the specialized crisis team. But the man who calmed her wasn't a therapist, not a doctor, not a specialist flown in from Switzerland. He was the night janitor. Marcus Williams sat quietly on the polished floor, his mop forgotten behind him, his fingers dipping gently into a bucket of soapy water as he blew bubble after bubble into the air. The executives stared, horrified and confused. "Step away from her," the head of security barked. "She might bite. Let the professionals handle this." Marcus didn't even blink. He recognized the girl's rocking, her erratic breathing, her desperate attempt to shut out the world. He had seen it before, on his daughter. On dozens of children he had once taught in a life he no longer spoke about. From the mezzanine above, a pair of sharp blue eyes watched everything. Gabrielle Ward, Billionaire, CEO of Wardstone Biotech, had frozen mid-presentation when she noticed the commotion outside her glass office. She had seen her daughter curled up on the floor, and then she had seen the janitor sit beside her and do exactly what none of her $15,000 a-week specialists could: bring her peace. By the time she reached the ground floor, the entire lobby fell silent. Her heels tapped like hammers on marble. "Mr. Williams," Gabrielle said, her voice tight enough to shatter. "My office. Now?" Everyone assumed she would fire him. Marcus assumed it too. But when he stepped inside her 42nd floor office, he found her standing behind her desk, trembling, not with anger, but with something far more dangerous for a woman like her: confusion. "What did you do to her?" she demanded. Marcus told her the truth about his training, his years as a special education teacher, his autistic daughter, how budget cuts had destroyed his job, forcing him into night shifts as a janitor. Gabrielle stared at him as if the world had tilted. "You have a master's degree," she whispered, "and you're cleaning floors in my building?" Marcus didn't flinch. "People have to eat." And then Gabrielle made him an offer, a huge one, but Marcus saw through her instantly. "You're not offering me a job," he said. "You're trying to buy your way out of your own prejudice." For the first time in her life, Gabrielle Ward, the woman who commanded governments and crushed corporations, had no comeback. Marcus walked out, leaving her alone with a truth she didn't want but desperately needed. That night, she watched her daughter sleep peacefully for the first time in years, and she made a decision. She called him back. The next morning, Marcus arrived with his teenage daughter, Zoe, a quiet, artistic 16-year-old who instinctively understood children like Eva better than any specialist. Within minutes, Eva was painting with colors she had never used before, and whispering her first new word in days. Then the doorbell rang. Dr. Harrison Peaton, the elite, hyper-expensive specialist who had treated Eva for 2 years without progress, burst into the room with his arrogance and price tag swinging behind him. And the second he saw Marcus, he exploded. "You can't allow a janitor to interfere with therapeutic treatment. This is unprofessional, dangerous, reckless." But Gabrielle, watching her daughter paint peacefully beside Zoe, saw the truth clearer than ever. Marcus wasn't just a janitor. He was the first person to actually understand Eva. And in the confrontation that followed, Marcus exposed something Peaton never expected. Years of copied reports, fraudulent diagnoses, and conversations he assumed no one overheard, except the janitor who cleaned his office every night. By the time the medical board met, careers were collapsing, lies were unraveling, and Gabrielle realized the most painful truth of all. She had trusted the wrong people and underestimated the right one. Months later, Eva stood on a stage beside Marcus, speaking confidently into a pink microphone she chose herself. "My name is Eva," she said softly, "and this is Daddy Marcus. He helped me feel safe." The audience of thousands wept. Gabrielle, in the front row, wept hardest of all. The janitor had changed everything. Her daughter, her life, an entire broken system. Because sometimes, the people the world ignores the most end up saving the people who matter the most. And sometimes the quietest heroes blow soap bubbles.